Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Knicks podcast. I'm your host, Apollo Reed. I'm here with my cuz, Rick the Ruler. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Glad
That's,
basketball is back.
yes, that's the main thing. I'm good to see some basketball. It's good to see some basketball because it's been however long, it doesn't matter. But at this point, it's good to see. I don't watch too much baseball. I mean, baseball, football. I definitely don't watch baseball.
Yeah,
But
zero.
yeah, zero baseball. But I mean, I don't watch too much football, except if it's for my team. You know what I mean? But basketball, that's where it's at. But tonight we're here to talk about our Knicks, and we get the W for the first preseason game of the season, and we open it up, and we look pretty good. We look pretty good. What's going on? Shout out to the chat. Tune, what's going on? What's going on, family? How's everything? I'm sure you enjoyed the dub. So we beat the Detroit Pistons.
As we should have.
As we should have. We we give them our trash, and then we
Smack him around.
smack 'em. Yeah, you should see Kevin Knox after the game with his hoodie on. He was dapping him up and all that. It was good to see Kevin out there. You know what I mean? Somebody had asked like, "Is Kevin still playing?" I'm like, yeah, "He's in Detroit." But anyway, so yeah, we beat them 117 to 96. Oh, appreciate you. This little old thing here.
Is it a hoodie?
It's a
It's
hoodie.
a short sleeve hoodie?
No, it's a hoodie.
Or you roll the
No,
sleeves up?
no, I just roll the sleeves up.
Oh, okay. I was like, yeah, that's different. I like that.
Yeah. I had to bring it out. I don't like wearing it too much because it's orange as hell. So
Yeah.
you can really tell when he wears it more than once. Like, you remember that orange hoodie? Anyway, so yes, we beat the Pistons 117 to 96, like you said, as we should. And let's get some stats up. Man. Let's see what we got here. So of course we had the starting lineup of Jalen Brunson, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. And let's start with Mitch. Tonight, Mitch, I mean, of course, he only played barely 18 minutes. But he looked really good tonight. He was able to get to his spots. I think they looked for him. Jalen looked for him a few times. I think he got a look from quickly as well. But Mitch looked good. If he was 3 for 3 from the field, of course. We didn't get to see the free throws, which is
He was working
probably
on all summer.
right that he was working on all summer. But it's quick little 6 points, 4 rebounds, 3 blocks, 1 steal. He was all over the place. Only 2 fouls in 18 minutes. So that's kind of what you want to see from Mitch. Being able to get in there and still be effective without getting into too much foul trouble with it in a lot of time. But what do you expect to see from Mitch this season? What is his 5th year, and his first year of his new contract. What do you expect to see from Mitch this year?
I expect to see him like really come into his own. Like he's locked in. He has his contract, so he should really show people what he's got. Did he go coast to coast?
I think there was a play. I don't know. I might have missed that play because I was trying to get my kids in bed. But
Yeah, I had that.
I think I might have missed that play. But I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all.
I'm about to look it up now. I'll send you the link so we can show. But
Okay.
I expect to see a lot from him. The coach said he's the best offensive rebounder in the league. So
Yeah.
After saying something like that, you got to show up. So
Yeah.
blocks, rebounds is what I'm expecting from him. Am I expecting much more than that? I mean, what else could I expect from him?
Yeah. What else? I mean, anything else he shows you is a plus at that point. And that's kind of at
Exactly.
where we are with Mitch.
Yeah.
Personally for me, Mitch, I just want to see some more maturity, accountability, things like that. In terms of his game, I don't really need to see much more from Mitch. If Mitch gives me, of course, you would like to see more. But if you like to see more, but anyway, if you would like to see more from Mitch, of course, you'd like to see more from Mitch. But at the end of the day, it's not what he's giving us at the value that he's given it to us at is not necessarily bad. Um, he's like you say, one of the best offensive rebounders in the league. I think he's been battling with Steven Adams in that category for a while. But that's great. That's great company. Being able to get on the offensive boards and being able to absorb contact. Coach was talking after the game, and he said something about he's very strong. One thing he got to do last year was he got to work out a lot because he couldn't run and do too much lower body stuff. So he got to get in the gym and get strong. So he learned how to absorb contact and finish over the last year and a half. So we're starting to see that from Mitch. So if you can continue to give us some rebounds, blocks, steals, smart defense, not getting yourself into foul trouble, they can get him involved in some pick and rolls and some lobs. I don't see why he can't be a 10 and 10 guy with two to three blocks a game. And at that point, what more do you need? Like I said, from Mitch, you would like to see more, of course, but at the end of the day, at that value, it's pretty good. So, who else can we go? I mean, of course, everybody wants to talk about Jalen Brunson tonight.
Of course, yeah, and then we're gonna talk about that.
We'll get to him. Hold on, let me see. Toon says I want to see Mitch be more aggressive at the rim, minus other than lobs, and he had the steal, took it to the rim. Yeah, that's what it was. It was the steal and took it to the rim.
Yeah,
he said it was from half court, and then he drove all the way to the rim, almost missed the layup. That's funny. That's actually pretty funny. Okay, he said the link. Let me see. How can I get that over to the Oh, okay. Never mind. I can do that. So let's jump over real quick. Let me grab this NBA.com. Pardon me, you guys. I'm just trying to grab something real quick. I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Here we are. Position.
But I mean, this play that you're pulling up now, it's a good sign. Like you said, it's extra. You don't expect him to do this every single game, multiple times a game. But if you if you get it, it's golden. Like it's icing on the cake.
Right.
For someone who looks like he struggled just to hold on to the ball in some instances, it's now driving from half court and laying it up. That's a good sign. That means he's feeling more comfortable with the ball in his hands.
True. Very true. Wait, where is it? Can I see it?
If you go to, I didn't want to put all the laundry out there, but
all the laundry. I think I found it. I think I found it.
Okay.
Here we go. Okay. Pardon the technical difficulties here. It's been a while since I've actually pulled up some other stuff. We haven't had any basketball, so it's been a while since I've had to actually pull up some.
Getting back in the groove of things.
Yeah, so pardon me. But here we go. Here we go right there. Okay. So is this the play? Why is it not playing?
Nah, that's not it.
No, that's not the play. Okay. You know what? Let's move on. We'll come back to that.
All right.
Let's move on and come back to Mitch. We'll come back to Mitch.
Yeah.
Anyway,
who's next on the list?
We can talk about. Also, we need to stop the screen and get this one back. And so, let's talk about Jalen Brunson. Okay. Obviously, it was his first game as a Knick, and everyone was excited to see Mitch. To see Jalen Brunson play, and obviously, that was like what everyone was worrying about is how is he going to fit in and what's the changes he going to be? Is he that guy or whatever? But Jalen Brunson tonight, he was 7 for 9 from the field, which is 77, basically 78% from the field. 2 for 4 from the 3-point line. He had 16 points, 5 assists, and 1 rebound, 1 block as well. So that's not a stat you expect to see from Jalen, of course. But
Nah, and it's the
um,
Pistons, so
yeah, and it's the Pistons. But at the end of the day, it's a block. We get the block.
yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not taking it
Um,
away from him, but
yeah, it's fine. I'm not mad at that.
he's not
But
averaging that against all teams in the NBA. So I mean, you
no.
know what? Let me not limit him. You know what? He's crafty, so I don't know.
Mhm.
He's not
Very
averaging
shifty, very shifty. That's something that we saw tonight. It was just, you just put it on a show kind of what he can do, and that's typically what you would expect to see from Jalen Brunson. But at the end of the day, it was definitely good to see him do it in his first game and not have to get, warmed up and get into it. But Jalen, man, he's very he can get wherever he wants.
Yeah,
He can get wherever he wants. And watching him, and I'll play just some clips of the game. Um,
he he
while we
he show he showcased everything really.
yeah,
Um, Layups, pull up jump shots, 3-pointers. I mean, what he got it all. Like
yeah,
he's a very impressive player. Like I take it back. I wasn't really excited about the signing earlier on. I came
mhm.
around, before the preseason game, but watching him, I'm very impressed with him. So we'll see what the season holds.
Yeah. I mean, definitely what you would expect is, you make this big
There
signing.
we
That's the
go.
steal you were talking about.
Yeah,
Um, but you make this big signing, everybody wants to see a superstar with a big splash. My thing about Jalen Brunson as he gets to the basket there, I think that was his first bucket, as a Knick. But my thing about Jalen Brunson has always been how smart he is as a basketball player. He gets to the spots whenever he doesn't make a lot of silly mistakes. He doesn't take a lot of bad risks, and that's what you want in your point guard. He's not selfish at all.
right.
He's going to look for his teammates. Um, the thing about Jalen to me that is different is that he doesn't rely so much on athleticism. So he kind of has to think through everything. And when you're that kind of player, and that's what you want out of a guard. That's why sometimes when you have a lot of athletic guards, they're not as they're I guess I wouldn't say that their basketball IQ isn't as high because that would be
Yeah,
true. But guards who don't have a lot of athleticism have to find a way to get in there and make themselves effective, and Jalen Brunson is a prime example of that. He gets to the basket whenever he wants it. It's just beautiful sometimes just watching him play. It's as we got the
the ads
the
running.
ads up here, of course.
Oops.
um Oops. But anyway, they're not paying us, so they're gonna take those down.
Word.
Salute. So yeah, but Jalen Brunson looked great tonight to me. That was just the first time we're gonna get to see him play. We're going to get to see these guys play again on I think it was Friday. But there was a lot of guys tonight. He wasn't the only guard that played tonight. Of course, Derrick Rose played. It was the
Yep.
first time Derrick Rose played. We've seen him play in a long time. And that was, I love that. It was good to see Derrick Rose, man. I love Derrick. So, people, they have this thing where, like, oh, we don't really, we want, he's taking minutes away, which he kind of could be in a way, but you got to have a veteran on a team. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you
Like,
need one.
especially if a veteran on your bench, on your second unit, you got to have somebody there, especially as a point guard who actually has been through a lot, and with this coach too as well. Derrick Rose was, he only played 5 minutes. He was in there for a little bit. He had 1 bucket, which was a three, a
3-pointer. Yeah.
three. But it was good to see Derrick Rose out there again. Quickly, man, we gotta get quickly more minutes this year. I would like to see him with more responsibility. Um, he had 13 points, with 3 assists and 3 rebounds. He also pulled down, I think, 3 steals. A lot of them led to fast break buckets. That's what you want to see from Quickly, especially because he's long. His arms are long as hell. He has a very very far, pardon me, uh wingspan, a large wingspan, so he can get into a lot of passing lanes whenever you don't even think he's there. And he's longer arms than your natural guard, but um I think Quickly is ready for some more minutes. He's starting to get comfortable. He's always tried tricky stuff. You got that guard that's always gonna try to do too much with the ball sometimes, and people are like, this guy does too much. But he knows how to toe the line to where he can still play basketball and still have fun with it. And right now he's getting that level of balance to where he can do it in games, with even stars in the court. So, but I'm ready for Quick to get some more minutes this year. What do you want to see from Quick this year?
Man, like I want to see his identity. Like I feel like his biggest issue was he struggled to figure out who he was, what position he was, and so for that reason, it's hard to put him on the court because we don't know what he's going to be out there doing.
Right.
But I feel a lot more confident about his game. I love what he was doing over the summer, how he was playing, the aggressive play that he had. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of that.
Yeah.
We keep saying that we need some sparks off the bench, and I feel like he's a perfect person to come off the bench and just light up the court.
Yeah.
I know there are a lot of people who want to see him start. I don't know if he's there, but off the bench, I think is the perfect place for him right now. He has the mindset to win, and I think with Jalen Brunson there, he can learn a little bit as well, which will only help him improve his game. So I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I'm expecting him to have a lot more of a poised gameplay, for him to be a lot more decisive than he has been in the past, and I think he can do it this year.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think he's, like you said, I'm not sure if he's ready to start just yet. I think there will be games where he will start, and we'll see then. There's going to be guys that are going to be out for certain things, for injuries and ailments or whatever.
For sure.
And there will be opportunities for him to be in the starting lineup, and at that time is when we will see how well he fits in with the starting lineup over certain people, which we'll get to in a second. But let's hit the chat for a quick second. We got Tune in here. He said, seeing Randle not not looking to take the ball up court is good. I know he was itching to get the ball. And he said that pro-am game scared Randle. Yeah, man.
Nah.
I don't think
I agree with your first comment, but that second one, I don't think anything scared Randle.
I don't think anything scares Randle. But at the end of the day, I was happy to see Jalen with more responsibility.
The charge.
Coming up the court with the ball, play after play. I was like, what is this feeling? what is this feeling? You know what I mean? Like it's just weird seeing a point guard in a Knicks jersey bring the ball up that you trust. That you trust. I might have chopped out there.
Yeah.
But it's just weird seeing a point guard in New York that you can trust, man. And it's a welcome sight. But speaking of that pro-am game, coming soon, we will have one of the players who played in that game against Randle on the show. But anyway, salute to Gardner Knicks podcast. He also said Brunson is just what we needed with our stagnant offense. He knows how to go get it. He knows how to go get it out of the mud. Exactly.
Yes.
And I think that's like the perfect phrase, because sometimes the offense can slow down and no one can get anything going, and the ball's going from left to right,
standing around.
Yeah. And like you said, if everything's slow, he can go get it out of the mud and find his way to the basket, get an and one or something, and create an opening. Is guards who can get in the paint is what we've needed for so long, and not the Alfred Payton get in the paint and not be able to be effective, so no one's going to leave off their man because we know you're not going to make it out of the basket anyway. Kind of get in the paint, but someone who was respected, someone who big men have problems guarding in the paint. You know what I mean? Like you don't really see that too much, and a handful of guys can do that. You know, the Steph Currys and the Kyries, and I'm not saying Jalen's on that level, but we will see. This is his first time as a starter. We don't know what he can be as a full-time starter of a basketball team. But you know, being able to get into the defense and create opportunities and passes for other guys that he's already created a bunch of open shots for RJ tonight. Easier buckets for him and Julius. I can't wait to see what they look like going further into the season, because they definitely had a lot of chemistry for the first game in the preseason.
Seemed like it.
Yeah. They definitely, you could tell that these guys were definitely playing pickup games in midsummer already. McBride had the glove tonight. Tibbs needs to bookmark their top tier point guards. First of all, I tweeted it out during the game. I said McBride's looking to take someone's minutes. He's trying to.
That's what you need, though.
That kid is not playing any games. He's not playing any games. Let's just take a look at this real quick. McBride, just look at this.
His steals tonight, I was just like, wow. He was really watching the play. His vision.
His vision is incredible. He was 3 for 7 from the field, 7 points. You know, he chucked a little bit. And you know, it didn't make a lot, but I did like seeing him out there for as long as he was there. There will be games where Rose will miss time, and there will be some minutes there for him. But of course, the defensive stats always stand out. 7 points, he's got a block, and then 6 steals. Like, come on, man. Every time he turned around, he was in the game. He was getting a fast break. It was fast break, steal, fast break, still fast break every single time. I don't know who concentrates that much on defense. I don't know anybody who can really put that much effort in making sure every single defensive play you get everything out of it that you possibly can, and then still going on the other side and still trying to do things. And that's why sometimes you can see that his shot might be a little off, because he's literally running everywhere, every play. He doesn't take any plays off. And that's what you want. You want that guy that is the third guy off the bench, at that position, to be, at the whoever's heels that's in front of him. If he slacks, if Quickly starts slacking and he doesn't really want to step up and he's hitting a slump, you best believe Tom Thibodeau would not have any problem playing Miles McBride, especially if you can grab 6 steals in an NBA game.
Turn the game around.
Right. Turn the whole game around. 2 assists, 4 rebounds. And, I love the kid, man. I was, his name was involved in some trades, and I'm like, I don't even know what, not no disrespect to Miles, but why would a team want him? They haven't really seen him play that much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and that's always,
unless they're watching the G League.
Yeah, well, which is a huge possibility. He was killing it in G League last year. But like I said, no shade on McBride, but just, of course, if you're gonna, I don't want that to come off like, oh, he's not shit. No, that's not what I'm saying. He's just a third string point guard. So it's hard to see them looking for a third string point guard in the trade. Like, yo, we want that guy, unless he's someone who's off the bench and you just got him buried and he's killing it. But that's not what we're getting yet. But he's definitely improving year to year, under the right coach for his style of play. Mm-hmm. So I just want to see, one thing I want to see out of Miles McBride is for him to continue getting to the basket. If he can continue to get his head to that basket and not settle for as many jump shots as he does settle for. As you can see, he took 3 3-pointers tonight and didn't make any of them out of 7 shots. So I just want to see him get into the paint a little bit more, even if it's just the mid-range. You can stop, pull up mid-range. Just more of a variety, so that you're not pigeonholing yourself into the type of guard that you can be. But I'm excited to see what we're gonna have out of Miles McBride. So, of course, let's just get down to the nitty-gritty. Julius Randle.
Okay.
Julius Randle he was 6 for 10 tonight, 2 for 4 from the field, 1 for 2 from the free throw line. He had 15 points, 4 assists, and 6 rebounds. It was a plus 18. He was pretty high. I can't really complain too much about what I saw from Julius tonight. I would like to. We would all like for Julius. We would all like for Julius to have a mistake, so he could be like, "Yo, I hate that guy."
Nah, man. I want the best for him.
Yeah, I'm
Man.
rooting for him. Like I said last show, I'm giving him a clean slate.
Yeah.
I don't have any issue with him right now. I'm giving you a clean slate to prove to me that you're somebody different. After your first year, we gave you a clean slate, and you had a great year.
Yep.
So maybe, hopefully, that's not a pattern. Even though that would mean that this would be a good year for Julius. Hopefully, it's not a pattern, because that means that next year, wherever he plays, it will be a down year. But I want to see Julius win. You know what I'm saying? I don't dislike him. He's not a bad person. He's not hard to like. But when when you're playing on a team with a bunch of young guys, you don't want to have someone whose ego is bigger than he is. You know what I'm saying? It's not good. You don't want to have young guys in the locker room having to battle with someone with that kind of mentality. And I'm not sure if he ever was that person. Maybe last year he was going through something that we're not aware of. Like I said, I'm giving him a clean slate. He had some good shots tonight. I think he had the last bucket in the first quarter. I think it was I think actually there was like 0.7 seconds left when he made that. He drove to the basket and off the backboard. So that's what we want to see. I think the addition of Jalen Brunson running the show means so much to Julius, because it allows him to still get the ball and be effective and still feel like he has some control over what he does, because when they give him the ball, he does what he wants. But now there's control of when he gets the ball, because the problem is that no one knows when to tell Julius no. And that's the issue. Is there's certain points of the game, certain matchups, you don't want to see Julius like, yo.
Is it they don't know when to, or they don't know how to?
No, I think Julius was the best player on the team. So when he calls for the ball, he gets it. You play 2K, and you're that guy. You press A, press X, whatever the system you're on, you get the ball. You know what I'm saying? When you're that guy. And Julius was that guy last year. He was the best player on the team, arguably. But that's the issue, is when you're that guy on the team, everyone's adjusted to, well, we got to give him the ball when he wants it. Maybe this is the time we get us a good bucket, because we're supposed to put our trust in you. So, yeah, I think now there's a point guard who can read momentum and read the speed of the game and be like, I think I'm gonna go to RJ this play, or I'm gonna run a pick and roll with Mitch. You know what I mean? Or let's find a play for Evan or whoever it is. That's what we've been missing. It's not just to have someone who come in here and score 20 points a game. It's really to have someone who knows how to control the pace of a basketball game, and that means so much. Like tonight, the game did not look as bad as the score said it was, because the way the Pistons were playing, like okay. They got some fight to them.
Yeah.
But then you look at the score, like, they went by 29 at one point.
Yeah.
So it was just like, oh, okay, well, that's what happens when you have someone there for as many plays as possible, playing smart basketball.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just the addition of Jalen Brunson is amazing. So RJ Barrett, 21 points. 1 block, 1 steal, 2 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. He said he was working on those. They look good. 3 for 5 from 3. Like I said, he got some looks from Jalen. I mean, if he's gonna be getting those kind of shots all year, look out. 8 for 14 from the field, 23 plus 23 from plus minus. He was the best, highest plus minus on the team. And that's what you want to see from RJ, man. You want to see him to continue to improve. All his buckets were almost easy. He still gets to the basket. He had the classic drive to the basket spin move, and I think what's his name, Isaiah Stewart. He was like, "Come on, bro. It's like it's year 4. Stop doing that." And he pinned it. He threw it out of bounds. So RJ's gotta clean it up, but he fought back and he continued to get in there. He was getting some plays. Like he got some chin hair now, and now he starts to act a little crazy. You know what I mean? Like he's a new person. But I think RJ is ready this year. Like he looked hungry. He played 22 minutes and had 21 points.
Yeah.
22 minutes and had 21 points.
I totally agree, man. Like I feel like he knew exactly where his weakest part of his games were his game was, and he worked on it. He knew it was free throws. He got to work on those. Like you said, he had 2, hit both. Perfect. Maybe playmaking, but and shooting, specifically shooting. And the fact that now he has a point guard who can get him in the spot that he's comfortable in. Like he doesn't really have to create too much there. This way, it frees him up for other parts of the game where he can create and throw the defense just off completely. And I think it's a very good thing. I know I'm talking about RJ right now, but the addition to an actual point guard, it means the world.
This is like the other episode we had the other day where we kept talking about Julius.
Yeah, and we said we were not going to talk about Julius at all in the beginning,
and then we had literally the entire
of the show.
Like middle 70% of the show was about Julius Randle. But I mean,
start a team. You can't help
when first of all, the fact that we're talking about the conversation keeps coming back to one specific person in a win. That's a good thing. Usually it's like, all right, well, this guy scored a lot of points. Great. This is what we like to see. And last year was kind of like, I knew it got to a certain point in the season where I just said, F it, we're going to be trash. I just want to see RJ score as many points as possible. Okay. That's it. Because I had to get a win somehow out of the season last year. You know what I mean? It's sad. Like, that's how I coped with it. It was kind of like, all right, well, we went to the playoffs last year, and this year we are clearly not going to the playoffs. We can't even get into the 10th seed. Like, that hurt, bro. Like, we couldn't even get in the play-in. Like, they have a whole tournament now so that people who might not make the playoffs can make the playoffs. And we couldn't make that. So I was like, yo, I just want to see RJ drop 40 points every game. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. And that's kind of where what my mindset was about last year was how many points did RJ have this year? I mean, this game. So fortunately, this year, cool. RJ can continue to drop however many points he can drop, but we are lucky to have a point guard here who can make sure that we're making a lot of the smartest plays we can make as often as possible. And that's what we've been missing for so long. So it's just, to me, I don't know, man. You continue to add to what you have, and they did that last year. They needed a backup big. They had to get rid of Nerlens Noel, so they replaced him with Hartenstein, who I love. I love his game. I already love him. The kid, he does everything that you need him to do. Like, he's a workhorse. But like I said, it keeps coming back to Jalen Brunson because he just settles everything down. He slows everything down for everyone. You can't double team. You can't leave off of him. You have to respect him at the 3-point line. You have to respect him in the paint. You have to respect him in the mid range. You have to respect him in a pick and roll. When one guy attracts so much attention on all levels of the offense in half court.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what it makes the game so easy for everyone else. I would not be surprised if everybody's a Julius fan by the end of the year, just from the addition of Jalen Brunson. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if we can get this version of Julius, keep him tamed, keep the bull tamed. Of course, he made a Julius play every here and there. It was kind of like what the hell is this guy doing? But you're going to have one or two bad shot takers on each team. Every team has at least one bad shot taker. If you have none, then you should be pretty good. But at the end of the day, those guys have to be talented if you don't have any bad shot takers. So fortunately, we have 1.5. RJ's learning how to not to be a bad shot taker, but he's definitely he's of that ilk. But at the end of the day, he's young enough for him to be, for you to say, all right, cool. Yeah. Not anymore, actually. He's 22. He's now at the age where you like, all right, bro, that young bullshit is over. You're not young anymore. Like I said, he got the chin hairs down. Go ahead, come on, we got to see something. So
why I keep getting kicked off?
I don't know. There you are. You're back. You're back.
I don't understand that.
But anyway, let me hit the chat one more time. Shout out to Joe Long. He's in here. Of course, Toon Garden and Knicks is still in here. Joe Long, one guy had 6 steals. Yeah. Miles McBride is he's a pest. He's a pest in here. I think even RJ.
That's what RJ said. Yeah,
RJ said that after the game. Garden Nick says Julius plays better under a role player, not franchise, in my opinion. Oh, without a doubt, he is. I've always said it. He's the third best player. If he ever was on a championship team, he's the third best player. He can't be the first or second best player. He can't be the first or second guy that should get in the ball to. I mean, at this point, if he can develop his game and depending on the guard, and he can continue to be that guy. But at this point on this team, it looks like I don't ever want to say Jalen is the best player on the team, because I don't think what he brings to the team matters. I don't think him being the best. Let me rephrase that. I don't think him being the best player matters.
Okay.
For this team,
right? I
think him being who he is and attracting and having the gravity that he has as a point guard is all that matters to this team. He doesn't need to take the shot every play. He's not selfish like that. He's not looking for the shot on every play. He's gonna make the smart read. He even got a turnover trying to feed it to Julius on the cut. He's gonna try to make the smart read. Now it's smart read, and he gets a turnover. Like I said, though, but you got to have a guard who's going to look for your first and second option. He's trying to get them involved. But he ended up with, I think he said he ended up with 5 assists, and that's like you said, he settles everything down. But Hartenstein, we're gonna figure it out by the end. We're gonna ask him. Somebody's gonna ask him.
Yeah.
In the next week. Is it Hartenstein or Hartenstein? It's coming.
It's Hartenstein on Halloween, but Hartenstein the rest of the day.
Right. I don't know what everyone is.
Sorry. I'm a dad. I got tons of dad jokes.
The dad jokes. Listen, I got plenty. That's why I laugh all the time. But Isaiah, 8 points on 3 of 5 shooting, 2 of 3 from the 3-point line. Now, the last time we had a big that can shoot, like
Porzingis.
Yeah, Porzingis was the last time we had a big that could really shoot. And that got minutes like that as well.
Yeah. I was impressed by that.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what you want, and more than anything, the guys, he has some tenacity. He had the most rebounds on the team tonight. He also played the most minutes, I think, didn't he? He had to, because he played with he had 27 minutes. Because we were talking about it at some point. I think Toon and I were talking about it actually. He said that we got to get Hartenstein out of there because, he's the only, he's gonna be part of our rotation. And then I was just saying, I'm like, well, we don't have anyone else to play. Like, there's no other big there. Like, literally, there's no other big there. Jericho Sims didn't play tonight, and then he's not gonna put Mitch back in the game. So unfortunately, he's gonna be playing 27 minutes. But even in a regular season game, that's probably the amount of minutes he would be playing anyway. Because he's gonna be off the bench. So in 27 minutes, if he can give you 8 points, 7 rebounds, an assist, 2 steals, like I'm all for it. I think I like the energy that he brought.
Yeah.
He just it's invaluable. The stuff that he brings to a team it's just invaluable. But what do you look to see for the role of Isaiah Hartenstein this year?
I think it's actually pretty funny because I was watching various videos on YouTube, and this one guy, he was like going crazy over this guy Harkinson. He was like, "Oh, I can't believe that so many NBA teams have him and pass him up. He can do it all." And I was just like, "All right." And then I heard that we signed him, so I was just like, "Oh, okay. Let's see what this guy got." But I'm really impressed by his capabilities.
Yeah.
He can, like you said, he can shoot from outside. He definitely can get boards. He can handle the ball pretty well as well.
Yes.
There was one play where he he got a defensive rebound, and he was looking to pass it, but I think McBride had already made it up the court, and so he brought the ball up court, contested, and he handled it pretty well. So I'm impressed by him. I don't know what to expect, how much minutes he's going to get in the regular season, but whatever he gets, I'm sure he will make the best of it. So I'm pretty excited to see what he does for us.
Yeah, man, I think the coach is going to play him a lot. He's got that fight in him. He can score from anywhere. He attacks the basket. He's not soft. It's scary when you got someone off the bench who's not soft and he can score anywhere on the floor. And then at the other end, he's gonna go toe to toe with whatever big you got down there. So I don't see, like the guy said, whatever YouTube show you were talking about. I don't know how teams are passing up on this guy. But he came here and he fits right in. I think he's already developed some good chemistry with guys. I saw there was the media day thing they had. He was joking around with Quickly. It's these guys fit in. I was saying that a few shows ago about Jalen. People like, oh, what do you think it's personality? And I'm like, from what I remember, the clips that I saw this year, Jalen behind closed doors is the kind of guy. He's a clown. He's a jokester. He likes to play pranks on people. How can you not enjoy having someone like that on your team? You know what I mean? And he's 25, 26 years old. You know what I mean? At this point, it's kind of like, it's good to have someone there who can lighten up the mood, but at the end of the day, can settle down your offense and still be a leader for you. So, the additions of him and Hartenstein this year, it's just amazing. I love what these guys are going to be for this team. Let's wrap up the starters with Evan Fournier.
Okay.
Evan. I love Evan. I really do. I love his energy. I love his attitude. Like his initial press conference when he said last year and he said, "I bet you I could kick your ass." Like, this. I love it, man. Like you can't hate a guy like that. But I don't want to see him in my starting lineup. And that's it. Like that's my only gripe. He doesn't need to be in the starting lineup. I think the offense that he brings, he can come off the bench and play with the starters and do that. You know what I mean? He could be the first guy off the bench and play with some starters and bring you exactly what he's giving you right now.
Listen, you know me. I respect your eye for the game. But who would you feel more comfortable with starting than him?
I don't have anyone right now. It's just that's the frustrating part, is that there's just a bad fit, and he's there because he's there. You know what I mean? It's not like he's there because, well, he's won the starting position. No, he's the starter because he's Evan Fournier and he was the starter last year, and someone has to beat him out of that spot. And the main guy who's going to beat him out of the spot can't even practice right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and then the other guy, Cam Reddish, gets injured this game, steps on the ref's ankle, Rose's ankle. with the Melo trick that happened to Melo when he was here. If you at this point it was almost 10 years ago, bro. That is crazy.
Yeah,
Almost 10 years ago.
That seems a lot.
Actually,
Is
10
it
years
really?
ago, 22, if this is the 22-23 season, 2012 and 2013 was the year we won 54 games. Wow. This is 10 years.
10 years.
That's crazy. Wow. I forgot what I was talking about. That's so crazy. Anyway, Evan Fournier.
Evan, yeah. I mean, a lot of people they think Cam Reddish should be in that spot, but I don't. And I hear a lot of sports basketball analysts say things like that, but I just don't. I don't trust Cam. I don't trust him yet, and I know that he's gonna start playing to the level where I'm like, okay, I kind of like this guy. But until then, like I'm not a Cam fan. I'm just not.
First of all, I feel bad for Cam. And Cam, first of all, I'm gonna take
don't
blame
feel bad for him. He's playing in the NBA. He's got.
I'm gonna tell you why I feel bad. I'm gonna take blame for your injury tonight because for some reason I randomly chose Cam Reddish to be the cover person on the artwork today.
Yes, I saw that.
I definitely did that, and then he twisted his ankle. So, maybe I gave him a little bit of the Madden curse, and
it's not you, bro.
My apologies, but anyway,
it's not you. And this is what I was saying. I think 2 shows ago, I was just like, "Yo, he shows that he can play basketball, and then he gets injured.
Every single time.
I don't.
It happens. And then let's break down his numbers because he didn't look bad, but his numbers say otherwise. You know what I mean? Defensively, he looked good.
CIA.
Oh, my bad. I haven't checked the chat. My bad. Fellas. Let me show some love. Let me show some love real quick. First of all, back to the chat real quick.
Jelani's in here.
Jelani's in the chat. Shout out to Jelani. Let's kick off where I left off. 6 steals, 2 assists, 4 rebounds is a great number. No, he didn't have 7 minutes. I think he had 22 minutes. I think let me double check that.
I feel like he played the entire last quarter.
McBride, yeah, 22 minutes and 31 seconds.
Oh
yeah. He played longer than that, but. It's regardless. It's great movement and just being effective while you're there. Toon said McBride is our Pat Beverly without a doubt. He's our Pat Beverly. He just doesn't talk as much.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. That's the only difference I would say.
Yeah. Let's see what we hear. What are we talking about? Just seeing the Knicks having player stretch the floor as a godsend. Yes, he's talking about Isaiah Hartenstein.
Yes.
Having to play, and that's what we've been looking for. Last year, and I said it from the moment we signed Nerlens Noel. Great. We got a defensive big, but it was repetitive. We already had a defensive big. Now it ended up working out in his first year because Mitch got hurt and he had to play a lot of minutes for Mitch, which worked out. He was part of the playoff run and all of that. Great. I was not a fan of the $10 million a year contract. Now you earned it. I understand that you earned it, but let's be real. Was any other team giving him that? No. They were just paying him homage because of what, he did that year. But this year to have a big that can stretch the floor when Mitch comes off, first of all, like now your game plan, you have to game plan more than that. You can have the same defensive scheme for the bench unit as you would for the starters. Because it's like, all right, they're gonna funnel everything to the middle on offense, on defense. You know what I mean? So just watch out for that. They have the same kind of player now. Last year, Nerlens Noel missed a bunch of games, and that's why we saw so much of Jericho Sims last year. What I'm hoping that we do see. So we still see a lot of Jericho Sims because, especially if there's like blowouts, or if there's times in the game we're up by 15 points. Like instead of putting Hartenstein in there, it's just throwing a Jericho Sims real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In 5 minutes and get something in there. But yeah, man. Regardless of all that, let's just keep it moving. Keep it moving. I don't want to be here for too long tonight on the first night of the preseason. Shout out to Jelani with the quote of the day. Evan's mid. Stockton's messed up. He's mid as a starter. You know what I'm saying? He's a fire bench piece though. You know what I'm saying? Like he's mid as a starter. He's a fire bench piece. And that's kind of what I've been looking for. Like his contract says otherwise, but when you don't have Quentin Grimes out there, it's just like you're gonna see a lot of Evan. And unfortunately, that's what happened. You had to play a lot more Evan, especially because Cam Reddish got hurt in the same game. So I don't know. Evan plays good against good teams and mediocre against sub 500 teams, in my opinion. Yeah, it's like he comes into the game and he's like, I'm not gonna take this guy serious. It's like, okay. And then that's when you get your ass busted.
Yeah.
But then you go against the Celtics and then you play like your name is Peja Stojakovic. So it's kind of weird. Like you don't know what you're gonna get from game to game from Evan. And that's kind of what makes him a sixth man in my eyes.
Yeah.
It's all right, well, cool. We don't have a problem with you taking shots because we're gonna need someone to take these. He knows how to take a good shot. He might not make all of them. But it's knowing when to do that and doing it, I'm not mad at Evan. You know what I mean? Not mad at him. I would have just liked to see the offense flow a little bit differently while he was in there. That's it. Someone on Twitter was like, "We don't want to see any of these old guys." I was like, "You guys are treacherous. You guys are treacherous."
But they're being honest to themselves. They don't see the value in veterans being on the floor. So I think they're mistaken, but it is what it is.
I just now.
Which one? CIA?
I just now saw CIA. Yo, shout out CIA, bro. You always bring the heat, man. Julius looked a little less hoish out here.
I mean,
he did.
Yeah,
he did.
And I think that's what makes it funny. I would never phrase it.
It's because he's really he's on point, but it's like, damn, I wouldn't use those words, but you're right. Like he definitely looked a little less hoish out there.
You know who I like? I'm sorry, I was changing the topic. I like Obi, man. I like Obi. Yeah. Like he brings the energy with them dunks, man. Like I really love when he's on the floor because he looks hungry. He looks like he wants to perform. He wants to get the guard and jumping and stuff like that. I just like him. He looks like a nice guy.
See, and that's the thing about Obi. So let's just talk about Obi for a second. We'll come right back to the chat. Obi was 4 for 9 from the field. He had 8 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. First of all, those are pretty good numbers, especially defensively, and everything other than the shooting numbers of being 4 for 9 as a big man. The problem with him being 4 for 9 was that he shot 0 for 4 from the 3-point line. 2 of those were shots that I wasn't mad at. The other 2 were going back to his first year airballish kind of 3-pointers. I know he's worked on it. The confidence is there. I don't want him to stop taking it now after all of these summers of working on it. Keep taking the shot at this point. They're going to start landing. I think he's getting comfortable out there. Quick was looking for him, I think, in a few of those. So, I'm not mad at Obi for that. Like I said, you come off the bench, I'm not mad at a lot of what you're doing because, you're a bench player for a reason. But let's just, I would like to see the ball go in the basket more often than not. But I do want to see a little bit more better and easier baskets for Obi. But Obi definitely, especially in the first quarter, was getting easy buckets. I think RJ had thrown him a pass between the legs and he caught and went to the basket drive. So, Obi is definitely doing a lot better, getting a little bit more comfortable, and that's what I want to see from Obi Toppin. Who else? Let's go. Think we talked about. This Jalen Harris guy. I guess he's the guy that we picked up most recently, I don't see him getting. At first, he's not going to be part of a rotation. That's just not happening. But I'm not sure if he'll make the main team. He might end up
Nah, he was
2-8.
missing layups.
Yeah,
I
2-8 deal and
wasn't.
stuff. Right. But he was pretty active out there, and he was getting to the basket pretty easily.
Listen, so I mean, congratulations on being active. You're supposed to be, but it wasn't effective.
No,
I wasn't impressed.
No, I mean, from what I saw, just his ability to get to the basket. Yeah, his finisher wasn't great. Clearly, he's not an NBA player right now.
How much did he score?
Like he had 5 points on 5 buckets, so he was 1 for 5.
Really?
3 for 3 from the free throw line. He made one layup. I think it was a layup or a shot, something like that. But like I said, I liked him. He didn't make his shots. I don't like his shots. It was just how he moved around the court. You know how people, you know how you play with someone at the park and there's the one guy, he just knows how to move through everything without looking like he's making a lot of movements. He's kind of like that. He's end of the bench kind of guy that you wouldn't mind seeing him play at the end of a game or end of a blowout with guys like Ferran Hunt, who were with him, who also shot 1 for 3. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it with the stats with these guys. It was a good game to see. Gardner Nick says, I hope Grimes plays on Friday against the Pacers. I like Grimes. Me too. My issue with Grimes has always been health. That's it. I want to see him healthy. He hasn't proved to me that he can be healthy, and I think that's my only fear with Grimes. I don't think he's going to be a bad player. I think he's actually good. He has potential to be a really good player, but health has already been an issue for him. He's been in the league for a year. He's already had health issues. So it's concerning a little bit. He hasn't gotten to practice. He's been in a walking boot. Like, it's always something. So and this is don't want to get too far into it, but the frustration with the trade talk and him not being included because of this. This is what I'm saying. Like, none of it made sense because this is like, come on, guys. I'm seeing this from home. Like, I know you guys are too smart to be missing this. So, anyway. Kareem Grant says salute to the chat, to the pod in the chat. Salute to you, Kareem. What's going on? My guy State Brunson is elite. Listen, this might be the year where he puts everybody on notice. This might be the year.
I know State always says RJ's 2 years away from being 2 years away. So what's the countdown now? Now we got this point guard.
I'm sure now that we got Brunson and we got a dub with Brunson and RJ had the most points tonight. I'm sure State's feeling pretty good.
I mean, I'm sure he feels okay, but it's preseason and it's the Pistons. So I mean,
yeah, exactly. See, and that's kind of what I was saying on Twitter. I said I like how these guys look. I said, now I know it's just playing the Pistons a preseason game, but it's not that. It was the chemistry. Last year, even at the season opener that we went to, that wasn't the first preseason game. That wasn't even the first game of the season. I think it might have been the second or third game of the season.
Was that the first home game though?
It was the first home game. It was the season opener. It was the season opener at home. The home opener. My bad. It was the home opener. So I think it was like the second or third game. And like I said, we went through a preseason. We went through a game or two. And here we are there. And you can see the chemistry issues in the home opener. We saw it there. We saw the chemistry issues there. This is the first preseason game. We don't have any inkling of these guys aren't meshing at all. Like, if anything, it's the complete opposite. And that's what excited me tonight. It was the flow. These guys were just calm. It It was just like it was like a 3-man weave. They worked together, and they weren't fighting for shots. No one was looking for a certain amount of shots, and Julius wasn't mad because he throwing his hands up because he didn't get the ball. Like, when you have a guard who you can trust to give you the ball on the right play, you don't get mad when you don't get the ball.
Right.
And that's all we've been looking for Julius.
Right.
Like, if you can not get mad when you don't get the ball, cool, bro. Like, this is all we're asking for. Just chill out.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what we were worried about. Everybody was worried if he was going to be able to accept not being able to bring the ball up. But this is what it's trust me, man. Trust me. Anyway, Tibbs beard acting brand new. Listen, bro,
I like the beard look on.
I like the beard. I like the beard. I said it on Twitter. And I was like, listen, I like the beard look. Let it grow, man. Like, you know what I mean? That bare face did not look good. It didn't look good at all. It looked a little serial killerish. It's kind of but I'm glad he doesn't look serial killerish anymore. Let's see. Let's run through a few more of these before we get out of there. Quickly definitely improved on being poised, getting to the rack, and not just jacking up shots, without a doubt. Quickly is definitely getting, like I said, getting a little bit more comfortable out there and knowing when to take a risky shot and when not to. There was a play where like the lane like opened up like the part of like the Red Sea, and he just walked to the basket, and then someone at the last second decided to like, oh, let me go play defense, and then they jumped with him, and then he absorbed the contact and finished with his left hand. I'm like, this is what I want to see from Quick. This is what I want to see from Quick, man. Like, I just want to see you continue to be effective and reliable. If you want to be a point guard, continue to be effective and reliable so that when all falls down, everything breaks down, we can give you the ball and you can work something out. And that's what, once again, Jalen Brunson brings to the squad. Brunson is the Walmart D Rose.
I saw that. I'm like, but is he though?
But he's good though. He's not the Walmart D Rose. He's the Target D Rose. The Target got some reliable shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think D Rose is like very unique, man. I don't think we've seen anybody like D Rose.
No.
But I know what that means though, because he's very quick. Like D Rose is known for being quick, and Brunson, he's very quick.
Yo, he's on a roll.
Yeah.
Better not do none of that Canada Dry-ish this year. Listen, like I said, he also is benefiting from the addition of Jalen Brunson.
Yes.
He's not going to take a bunch of people like, oh, he scored this many points because he chucks up shots. Stop. Come on, bro. Like, it's not true. Which is not true. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real. He is not a Chuck. The kid is not a Chuck. First of all, he didn't take a lot of jump shots.
Exactly. I was just about to say he didn't even take that many shots.
Yeah, most of his shots he takes is at the rim. He's not a Chuck. In fact, he was quoted in saying that a lot of the times, I go up and even if I know I'm not gonna make it, I still lay it up off the basket because I know Mitch is there and he's gonna catch it and go back up. So it's like, when you have someone that clearly admitted to, like, sometimes I might take bad shots, but that's because I know that Mitch is going to get it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't think he's that bad of a, shooter. His shot selection isn't terrible. It's not like he's taking step backs from the 3-point line, double teamed. He's not J.R. Smithing it out there. You know what I'm saying? So, I think, like I said, with the addition of Jalen Brunson, you have someone who can get him the ball when he's supposed to have it, get him easier buckets. How many easy open threes did he have tonight? And just, I think another play with RJ, it broke down with Julius. Julius got double teamed. He threaded the needle through both of the guys to RJ, and RJ finished with the slam. And that's what you want, man. I love seeing these guys just work together with no egos. And it starts from the top, it starts at the head of the snake, and that's Jalen Brunson once again. Let's see. He said Tibbs got the Paul Blart vibe going on. He was looking a little more coppish out there. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. But I like the look. I like the look on him.
Yeah.
It's different. You feel this way when I go back and I look at footage, like, you know, oh yeah, that's the year that we played better than the year before. I'm hoping that's what I'm saying. But you know, and Bill boy, this right here, bro, just take a step in. Take a step in. Because at the end of the day, a lot of these guys can't guard you at that position. A simple head fake, drive to the first of all, they think you're going to dunk everything that you if you don't take the three. If I'm Obi, bro, this is what I'm thinking. If I head fake the three and I drive, they think I'm going to take it all the way to the basket. That's their number one fear.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do when I head fake and I drive? They're going to pack the paint. They're not going to think about me stopping to take a mid-range. That's the perfect way to counterattack that. Or if you don't feel comfortable taking that three head fake, take 1-2 steps in. Or take a hard dribble, make them think you're going to drive to the basket and stop. Pull up mid-range. I guarantee you OB can get 6 points a game doing that right there.
Mm-hmm.
Per game. Just doing that right there. 3 shots. Just head fake, drive in, boom. He might take 7 or 8 of them. He can make 2 or 3 of those each game. And that'll just change everything. That'll change everything. But, you know, but shout out to you, Garden of Knicks for that that point. But yeah, man. That's all we got. I don't want to keep us here for that long. This is the first night. It's getting late. And I don't want to keep you here for that long. I know it's getting about that time. I'm tired. But any last words for you, Rick?
I'm excited for the season. I spoke to my wife the other day, and she said that she's willing to go to a game with me. So she said she's never been to a basketball game before. So
nice.
You know, I'm gonna sit her down, have her watch a couple episodes of the show, so she gets to know the players a little bit. So you know, when we go out in public, you know, she doesn't embarrass us. But you know, I'm not gonna let her watch this show, of course, because I just said that. But yeah, man, I'm gonna try to hit up some games this year.
Yeah, with your luck, she liked the show, and she'll come back and stumble across this one.
I know, right?
And she'll be like, "Oh, is that right?" You remember the preseason opener, which you said? I'm like, oh gosh.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, man, shout out to the chat, Garden of Knicks, man. Of course, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you being here, being in the chat with everybody. Of course, who else? We had the CIA was in here, Jelani, my boy Steve. Oh, I don't call him Steve. Toon was going on. And everybody else that watches later, just drop us a like, pay us with a like. That's it. That's all we asking for. We don't need no money out your pocket. Just get us a little like. That's it. You know, right? Please.
Please.
This is one guy that stands by one of the corners where I used to work at, and that's his go-to. Like, when the cars are passing by, he goes. I'm like, you got that down pack. Like, I'll be seeing him do it from across the street. I'm like, yeah, he's already doing it. Like, but anyway,
he's at work, man.
He's at work. He's making his bread. You gotta make his money. So, anyway, man, hit that like, pay us with a like, please. And listen, man, we'll see you on the next one, man. Thank y'all. Peace.